Sir, could I ask you one question here?
Sure.
Do you view Roe versus Wade as legitimate law that's binding upon America?
I'd say no to the first half of the question and yes to the second half. It's not legitimate, but it is binding.
Okay, now what I'm saying to you is this. A couple of things. If the law impugns the law of God, according to Western civilization, it's no law at all. And we also know courts do not make law. They can issue opinions, they can issue rulings, but in our system of government, who makes law? In our system of government that was bequeathed to us at our founding, what branch of government makes law? The legislative branch. Is there any law that was passed by any legislature that justifies Roe versus Wade?
There were 4 states that had legal abortion before Roe v. Wade.
Well, there wasn't a broad. Exactly. So my point being is when we start with the premise of our enemies that Roe versus Wade is legitimate, that it's actual law, this is what we end up with, is that we only end up with incremental legislation that chips away at what this bill that Russell is talking about. This is the first time, Tony, in this whole battle, in this whole time, that we're actually coming into agreement with Almighty God. Because how does Almighty God view the slaying of the innocent? What would he call them? What does God in his book call it?
Killing.
No, he calls it murder. He calls it murder. And this bill is the first time in 43 years of this Holocaust that we're actually addressing it and treating it as Almighty God has stated. Now you know, Tony, we need God's aid. We need his help in this battle. And what we keep on doing is offering legislation that violates the very commandment of God. Because there's always this caveat: jump through this hoop, jump through this legislative hoop, and then you can kill the baby. Tony, the problem is we don't have the moral authority. We don't have the moral authority to use these children as a political football. What do you think God expects of us when it comes to this situation? He told us to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God. We have to bring justice. This is an injustice. And we're calling for justice for the preborn. And that's why I tell you, listen, brother, you carry a lot of influence. You carry a lot of influence. People respect you. And what we're trying to challenge you, brother, is there needs to be a paradigm shift on how we think of these matters and how we act. And all Russell's trying to do is to come into agreement with Almighty God and convince legislators to do their duty. The purpose for civil government established by God is to protect life and to stop the shedding of innocent blood. That is their duty before God. Roe versus Wade violated that sacred trust. And we need courageous men and women who are in positions of governmental authority to come back to what God has called them to do. This bill does that. That's why it's so important. And I understand there's practical things that you wrestle with. There's pragmatic reasons why you don't want to get involved with it. But this is principle. It is right. It is true. It is just. It is good before God.
It is. And I don't disagree with that at all. It's just before God. But we live in a human society where we are bound by the system of government in which we...
Yeah, but how do we change that, Tony? How do we change it?
Well, we need a pro-life president. We need a pro-life U.S. Senate. We need nomination of pro-life justices.
But that's from the top down.
And sorry, we had that with George W.
Tony,
Bush.
listen,
We had exactly
you're
that.
You're talking about the top down. And here's our problem. The federal government is the enemy of righteousness. It's the federal government who has become the tyrant that has introduced all this corruption, all this lawlessness, all these evil, wicked policies that are plundering the American people. We need people on the local level. We need the lesser magistrate to interpose and say no to the federal beast. In other words, when our federal government is introducing policies that are unconstitutional, they're corrupt, they are lawless, it's the duty of the lesser magistrate to say no. For the states to rise up and say, no, we're not killing our babies. No, we will not have homosexual marriage. We're not your province. We're not here to implement your agenda, especially when it's corrupt and lawless. We're not here for that. And so, Tony, this is a time for courage. It's a time for conviction.
Well, I know, but God also told us we needed to be as wise as serpents, and we have to.
But he didn't say to be serpents.
No.
The voice as strong as thunder will be heard across the land, calling to the magistrates to save our neighbor man, who wearing robes as black as sin have stained our soil red. The voice as strong as thunder will be felt across the land.